Hello and welcome back. I'm Lex Belton.
I'm Angelique Roche.
We are joined by incredible writer Mackenzi Lee. Mackenzi, welcome. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you here. You have written a book that's near and dear to many people's hearts because they love this character so much.
Yes.
Loki, Where Mischief Lies.
Yeah.
So for those who do not know about this book, tell us what it's about, how it came about, and about your love for Loki.
Oh my gosh, so much to cover. Such small question.
I know.
It is about sort of teenage Loki, kind of younger than we've seen him before in the canon, who accidentally overhears / comes across a prophecy about one of Odin's sons leading an army against Asgard, but they don't know which one, and Loki starts to sort of grapple with the inevitability of his destiny, and if he is destined to be a bad guy, or if he can fight against that, or if he even wants to fight against that. And then all of this kind of happens while he is solving a series of Jack the Ripper-esque murders in 19th century London.
Oh.
No big deal.
So, yeah,
No big deal.
it's a little bit of everything.
Well, the thing I love about Loki is he was such an unexpected fan favorite,
Yeah.
right? My niece's favorite character, hands down.
He's a lot of people's favorite character.
Right, and you have this wave of this love for Loki. Did you have a personal connection? Were you a personal fan when you got an opportunity to write the book?
Yeah, I was a Marvel fan in general. As a kid, I desperately wanted to be a comic book reader and could not figure out how to be because the spaces felt so exclusive and very male, and I couldn't figure out where to start and didn't know who to ask. And so I wanted to be a comic reader, couldn't figure out how, and then because of the Marvel movies was sort of had these like touchstones and access points and was able to then get into the comics from there. And Loki has appealed to me from the start, and I think for the same reason that he appeals to so many people, but he has that sort of like the swaggery bravado, which is really, really fun to write and to fangirl, but also there is this sort of moral ambiguity to him, and he keeps you guessing, and in a world where everything is sort of like black and white and good and evil, it's fun to have this sort of like anti-hero guy who could do anything at any time. The unpredictable one.
Right, and it's so interesting because we've usually seen Loki as an adult or a child. It's like, or there's
reincarnated
person.
Yeah.
There's not really a middle ground.
Like a little teenage, like, so
Yeah.
what are some of the challenges and fun things you discovered about writing a Loki in like such an important stage of like people's lives where they do feel those kind of emotions of where am I going to fit in?
Yeah.
Where am I going to end up this person that I am?
Well, one of the fun things was trying to figure out how Asgardian years translate to human years, and like, so how old is he, and how long is he even alive? And at one point, there's like a time jump in the book, and we were like, do we put 3 years in the future, or do we just put sometime later? Because it's like hard to do the math. But I write young adult fiction professionally, and what I love about it is I love this moment of young people sort of deciding what kind of adult they're going to be. And I think part of the reason why young adult fiction is so widely read is because we all feel like we're going through that all the time. We all feel like we're constantly coming of age, and it's sort of, I think it feels like everyone else has it figured out but us. And so for Loki, it was fun to capture that moment and exciting to talk about sort of him before his identity had really solidified as this like anti-hero sort of character, when he's still like, I could be a good guy and I could be a bad guy.
And that's such a cool thing just because he's such an important villain, but he's also so complicated.
Yeah.
You know, now that you've tackled one of the most complicated villain, anti-hero...
I'm invincible. I can write
do anything.
There you go.
Well, so what would you like to do? Are there any other Marvel characters you'd like to tackle?
Oh my gosh, so I've had 2 more books coming out with Marvel. Can't tell you who they're about yet. I can tell you that they're not about Captain Marvel, because I would love to write Captain Marvel, and but they're all about different anti-heroes in the Marvel universe. So they've all sort of have that sort of complexity of Loki and that sort of question of like teenage Marvel characters deciding what kind of adults they're going to be.
Love it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mackenzi.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for
nice to meet
having
you.
me.
Yes.
You guys too.